What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BeawCast. And before we start, I want to shout out Barbell Brigade. We're having a brand new restock launch. So this one is a little bit special compared to all of our other launches because from all of our other launches this year, all the hottest items that sold out within an hour, we're combining all those items into one launch and re-releasing them one more time just so people have another chance at them.
Hell yeah.
So even though it's a re-release, it's probably the hottest launch of the year because it's all the hot items that everyone wants that couldn't get.
And they keep asking me for it, so I'm glad that this is happening.
Yeah, so go to barbellbrigade.com. I would go there fast because chances are they might be gone again. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, today's topic is about dealing with negativity. And I know we talked about it before and it was more specifically for social media, but I think this time we wanted to talk about it in real life because that's something that is a little bit harder to escape. You can't just, turn your phone down or you can't just put a pause on a relationship, so to speak. And so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. This is something that I've personally just kind of went through right now. Like I'm constantly trying to polish myself. It may not appear that way to you, but I'm constantly seeing interactions that I have with people or with fans or with my mom or just with you. And I'm constantly trying to self-reflect and see what I can do better within myself. So if we have a fight, and I'm like, damn it, why did I snap at Papa like that? What really happened? And I try to sit there and I try to dissect what it is that's happening, right? So recently, I think I've been just kind of dealing with...
When you polish yourself, is there some sort of way of measuring if you're improving? Do you go oh, cool, this time... or something happens, right? Let's say in January, you're like, I'm not going to do that again. That was so bad. And then in March, something pops up that's triggering you to do the same thing. And you're like, oh shoot, I actually changed it.
Yeah. My mind is so fucking crazy when it's something impactful that I feel horrible about or I'm ashamed about, then I'll never forget it.
Do you ever share those with me? Because it doesn't feel like I know what you're trying to improve. I know you're always trying to improve and polish, but I never know what you're personally trying to improve on.
I don't know if I share that with you.
Do you think you should as a healthy relationship?
I don't know if it's big enough because there's so little, there are these little pebbles that that you go, ow, that kind of sucked. Ow, that kind of sucked. Here we go again. This time I'm sick. So that's the phlegm this time. But they tend to be these little pebbles of little jabs. Fuck, why did I have to rebuttal that? If you're I didn't want to make the bed today. And then I'm like, well, what the hell? Why do I always have to make it? I didn't have, I'll sit there and I'm like, damn it, I didn't like that. And it's not a really big deal, but I'm sitting there going, okay, wait, why did I need to rebuttal that? What really happened? Why couldn't I just let that go? So stuff like that. So because I think it's so small and it's so in passing that it already just kind of goes into okay, let's work on this, Geo, that I don't even think about it until it happens a second time. And then I'm like, oh shit, I bit my tongue there. Or, oh, okay, Papa is, really busy or whatever.
Are you trying to work on the negativity in yourself? Or are you trying to work on the way you respond to an external negativity?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Both. But I think the most important one is within myself because it's all perspective, right? Because let's go back to the making the bed example.
Yeah.
I could just be like, oh man, Papa's probably really sad that he didn't get to make it because he likes taking care of me and he didn't get a chance to do it this way. Today.
You support me already from the backside.
Because it's my perspective on things. Yeah. Or the negative perspective would be damn it, he's so lazy, he just expects me to do everything.
How many times have I told this motherfucker to do it?
I tell him that, acts of service is important to me and he's doing this on purpose just because, it's a power move.
Even though acts of service we know is nothing on your list.
Okay, but it's an example, baby. It's an example. It's all perspective.
You're a very love language greedy person.
Greedy?
Yeah, you want words of affirmation. You want acts of service. You want affection. You want all of them, literally.
All right, so it sounds like I'm a fucking torn and sad human being, all right?
You polish that, please. Yeah, please. Got a lot to work on over there.
Yeah, I mean, don't we all, baby?
Yeah, glue it together, untear it, polish, cement, whatever you need.
I'm a really fucked up person. I know I am.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm just kidding.
One day you're gonna have my fucking back.
I have her back all the fucking time, especially doggy style.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, I mean, but I feel like you never deal, or like I never feel that you have any interactions with negative people. I feel like you don't even realize that there's negativity around you. Other than me, I feel like I'm the only person that's negative in your life that you feel.
No, I deal with
Why was that so funny?
It's just funny because it's so far from the truth. But it's not like you're oblivious to it, and it's not like I'm not expressive about it. It's just that a lot of people view things the way you view. So there's definitely a way that I'm dealing with negativity that isn't coming off towards other people, but I don't even know what it is. But for sure, in my opinion, I think everyone deals subjectively with the same amount of negativity. So it's even someone with quote unquote, I hate saying this word, but like white privilege. And if you went to Harvard, getting a stain on your Dockers is probably the end of the world. Versus someone growing up on food stamps. If one food stamp doesn't come in, even though they're different on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's just subjective. You know, it's what you're used to. And I think everyone in their world deals with their form of negativity.
Yeah.
For me, I think I internalize a lot. I don't know if that's healthy or not. And I do also try my best. And I actually learned this from Joe. I always try to get the other person's back as much as I can.
Yeah.
All the time. So like, you know, like when you work with artists, like we've had a lot of photographers, videographers for both JK and Barbell. And for some reason, artists just suck at being on time.
Yeah.
All the fucking time. So every single time they're late, I'm always like, oh, must be a flat tire, must be traffic on the freeway, even though my logical side is this motherfucker just woke up 10 minutes ago. I could fucking tell because look at the fucking bed head on this motherfucker. He has one eye booger in his eye. So there's all the symptoms that person's not even getting their own back. I'm trying to get their back and they're not even trying to get their own back. So I think that helps me deal with the negativity, is always trying to get other people's back and try to get their best side, even though I'm the one that's at the short end of the stick and getting hurt for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then do you feel then, because you're always, it seems like you're practicing a lot of positivity, like you're trying to flip that.
I try, yeah.
Do you feel then that because you're practicing that so much that you're kind of, I don't even know if this is going to make sense, but that like, by you not practicing being negative, that you won't really like kind of empathize and like try to see where they're coming from instead of just making excuses for them?
I think for sure I lack empathy because of that. Because like, let's say, I think someone that's truly listening, right? If someone's repetitively late, the first surface level is they suck with their habits, they suck with lifestyle, and they suck with discipline. But if you start talking to them, why is that? Is it because they're overworked or they're depressed? And you get to pull back layers and oh shoot, the parents are actually going through a divorce right now and it's affecting them in this way. And it's been affecting them the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And you ask a little bit more. Oh, actually, they were actually very punctual, even though I highly doubt it because artists are never punctual. Maybe they were punctual at their old job. But you pull back layers and you are able to see almost the mechanism that's causing the unfavorable behavior. But because of my, I think, emotional tolerance, I can't invest that much in that many people. Like the people that I actually invest that much emotionally in are you, Taika, my family, my dogs, and that's about it. Because I think getting that deep into people's emotions and understanding how everyone's parents and how their 5-year-old trauma affects who they are. And if I do that across all 50 of my staff from JK to Barbell, it would exhaust me.
Or just not even staff, but just friends or like people that you encounter.
Yeah, that would exhaust me.
Yeah.
I already, it's just so much for me to, I think in that way, I'm hyper empathetic where like that would just exhaust me like crazy. So I think certain things I'm like, at least in a work setting and maybe even some friendship settings, I'm like, you should be responsible for what you bring to the table. I'll be responsible for what I bring to the table because I'm not late. I'm dealing with shit. I know you're dealing with shit. So let's at least just try to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And if it's not 50-50, maybe sometimes 60-40, that's cool. And then, but with my family, of course, I'm down to go 100-0, you know, back and forth because I care so much. But it's really hard to go 100-0 with every single relationship I have.
Yeah. Let me pause you there real quick because I'm just going to introduce our first sponsor. And of course, my favorite sponsor. All right. This is for my ladies out there. If you've been listening to BeawCast, you already know what I'm going to get at. I'm going to talk about my favorite bra brand, Third Love. They legit have saved my clothing because before them, and before I got breast augmentation, I got my titties done. I was not wearing the right size bra. So before I got the augmentation, I was wearing a cup, maybe even 2 cups too big for my bra. So I had like this big gap. So if I like even bent over a little bit, if I was like a little bit hunched over, then you would probably see my nipple because there was so much space in my cup.
That's
because
hot.
the cup was perv. Because the cup was so big for my boob. Yeah. Obviously I was wearing the wrong size and I'm trying to fake the funk that I got boobs. I'm sure that's why a lot of us do it, but it just looks silly in certain tops. And then after I got my breast augmentation, then my cup was too small, which I was spilling over all over the place. So then I went to different brands trying to figure out like the right size, the way the cup would fit, and nothing seemed to work. So I'm not kidding. Like I probably still have a couple of these. I don't know why. Maybe because I spent a lot of money and I'm like, I'm not going to freaking throw it away. But I have like 8 bras, 9 bras in my drawer right now that I'm not wearing anymore. Whoa. That I don't wear anymore, that I can't wear because they fit so stupid. And it wasn't until I found Third Love. And this was the part where I was completely blown away because it was all done online. I didn't go to a store. I didn't get to try anything on. So I'm like, yeah, right, this is not going to work. But they guarantee that you're going to find your perfect fitting bra. You take this 30-second quiz. It asks you various questions like, okay, what do your boobs look like? What are some problem areas for you? What are you looking for in a bra? Like, do you want to, wear something strappy or something like with a t-shirt? And after there's 30 seconds, then it gives you the results of their recommended bra. And I went with that going like, yeah, right. Completely skeptical. I got the bra. I literally got it like in days. Like the shipping was super fast, super discreet packaging, and really cute packaging too, by the way. I got it. I tried it on and I'm like, holy shit, this fit perfectly. So I'm completely satisfied with this bra. You guys have seen me talk about it time and time again. You've seen me flash it on Bart's Instagram, Bart Kwan, on IG. And if you want to follow me, it's Gio_Antoinette, but that's not what we're talking about.
And you've seen you wear it in the vlogs too all the time.
All the damn time. Because it's just, you can't tell that I'm really even wearing a bra. I love it. Anyway, ladies, do what I did. Make the right choice. Go to thirdlove.com. It's going to save you 15% off just because you're a BeawCast listener.
That's awesome.
So go to thirdlove.com/Beaw, B-E-A-W, now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/BEAW for 15% off today. Do it. Thanks so much for that, Third Love. And we're back. Kind of touching on that, like I can completely understand where you're coming from because I'm that way too. But I've noticed that the more I practice trying to think negatively, so I can get my mind in that space so that I can pull backwards and then peel back those layers and then really get to the core of things, that starts helping me understand the person, obviously, and then I'm more empathetic. But the more I do that, the easier it becomes. And the more it's like a muscle that I'm practicing and the stronger it becomes. So I'm quicker at catching it. So I've been finding myself to be less exhausted. Yeah, because in the beginning, like I was never, who's really explained? Or maybe, I don't know, like upper middle class people, I guess. I don't know. People that have time. But I came from immigrant parents that are just here, that came to this country with parents that were hustling, that all they knew now and were taught was to hustle, and you don't talk about emotions. That's just wasteful shit, you just fucking put your pants on, you put your big girl panties on, and we got to get shit done.
Yeah.
So I never knew how to really problem solve. I didn't know that these emotions They're valid, and you're supposed to sit on them and really understand them and where they come from, because
and feel them. Yeah,
and feel them and talk about them. So I didn't know all these things. So then when I was put in a situation where I was forced to work people for long periods of time, where this work was a passion project for everyone. So a lot of people's emotions and they're very vulnerable because they're giving creative ideas and stuff. And these come from like a very vulnerable place for people. It wasn't until I was put in that setting, AKA JK Films, when I really started realizing that my way of doing shit was like, okay, come on, keep up or you're falling behind. Like, you can't be like, if you're the weakest link, you're fucking up. It was one of those like sink or swim. Come on. God damn it.
You want to drink some water?
I don't think it makes it worse for me.
Oh, okay.
And it just makes it worse.
Free refills of phlegm all day.
I know, it sucks, man. And I'm sick, so it's even double the fucking thing. Anyway. So for me, it was like, okay, this is just what I grew up around, and this is what I know. This is how we all function at my house. Like, you assume everyone else is like you. You assume you're doing it the right way, and everyone else does it the same way. So it wasn't until like I started hurting people's feelings, and people were more sensitive, and I encountered people that were more emotional or more negative or whatever, that I was like, oh shit, I think I'm doing shit the wrong way. Because I'm just looking at it from my own perspective.
I actually don't think you are.
Oh, in the past,
I honestly don't think you are.
What do you mean?
So like the way that I understand things, and a lot of it has to do with Asian upbringing and also my experience in the military. In military, especially in the Marine Corps, the number one goal is mission accomplishment, right? If we have to do a 15-mile hike up that hill, we all do it. We finish the task, then we complain how our feet's bleeding, our fingernails popped off, our toenails popped off. It was fucking hard. My girlfriend dumped me, and now I'm stuck in Iraq by myself. Like, you do all that afterwards. That's what I'm used to. So when people are late,
I didn't even do that afterwards.
Okay, so when people are late, I'm used to people being on time, mission accomplishment first. Then you tell me about your family divorce. You don't drop the ball, and then because then now the reason becomes more of an excuse.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And what were we so impulsive to jump on?
Oh, because it seems like it's going back to work, but I'm just saying in terms of just a relationship.
That's what I'm talking about too. So even in a relationship, that
just seems so rigid to me. Like it just seems like, oh shit, I gotta go to fucking brunch with Bart. Oh my god, let's not be late because of like it just seems so rigid.
It's rigid. In my opinion, and this could be an unpopular opinion, to me, it's rigid in a low functioning human being. So the type of understanding that I have with the Marine Corps and also with the unit I was with, they're very high functioning individuals. So like, when
for you mean like low functioning, high functioning, that just means for goals. Cause like, what if they're like an amazing dad or amazing mom, or like, they're like the town's favorite, like everyone goes to them because they're the best therapist.
Then they're high functioning. But that's what I'm talking about. In that circle,
I see.
There is a different understanding. Like if you're an amazing dad, you have one dad, he's maybe a single dad, has 4 kids, killing it. When he meets another dad that's on that level, there's just a certain level of like understanding that they have. And then they're like, my kids come first. I don't give a fuck about anything else. And my kids are all going to be fed and happy and doing their extracurriculars before anything else. It's not, I'm so tired, and that's why this kid is kind of not doing this good in school. I couldn't pay for this kid's pencil box. Like they're not dropping the ball.
Yeah.
So like, what I'm used to is just high functioning people.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that the way we built JK and Barbell and just the people around us, I think we allow for camaraderie to build, which in a lot of ways, you're not able to connect with that many high functioning people. And that's why when you have a high functioning person, they stand out like crazy. And they're the ones that are able to stay with the company for a long time. Whereas the low functioning, they all drop out.
Yeah.
But in an ideal world, like if I were to go back in the military, I think that's why there's so many people that stay in the military for that long, because they just can't deal with low functioning people.
Yeah.
I only want to deal with a team of SEALs. We understand each other. we're going to die accomplishing whatever mission. And that's how I am with every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
And that's how I conduct myself. So I don't think you're wrong. I think that it's actually a choice. It's like, do you want to be with high functioning people and you reduce a ton of stress? Or do you want to be with, I guess, regular and low functioning people, but you have to end up doing it? But there's also pros and cons to
absolutely.
both.
And that's the reason why. So, thanks. I mean, not that I was stressing over it, but that's really cool knowing that you have my back on that. But I felt personally that I was doing it the wrong way because I wasn't developing the relationships the way I wanted them to be. I felt that, yes, they're high functioning and we're getting shit done and we're accomplishing goals and we're killing it. But it felt very unfulfilling. It felt like, cool, goals wise, on paper, we're fucking solid as shit. But when it came from heart to heart, it just felt pretty empty. I'm like, I don't know what this person feels. I don't know what, I don't know what makes them smile.
That's the phrase that our buddy Jacob coined. Was he called it like emotional rapport? He coined a term of like emotional investment.
No, oh my God. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But it was an awesome term that he coined, and it was pretty much like the amount of emotional or relational wealth.
It's not coin, it's like, it's the wealth
that we have with each other.
Yeah.
And the more that you have with each other, the more easy it is to communicate because we're that much connected, almost like we're best friends.
Yeah.
That are working instead of coworkers.
That's going to bother me now. It's okay. It'll come to me. Emotional rapport? No. Emotional. What is an abundance of something? Give me some.
Abundance?
Yeah. Like in a bank.
Surplus?
Okay. Anyway. Sorry, Jacob. We completely butchered it. But yes, along those lines. So then because it wasn't the relationships I had, yes, they were meaningful. Yes, everyone was completely loyal to each other, but I just felt like, for me at least, I wasn't able to feel like I can completely just kind of like be emotionally naked with everyone. You know, I just felt like wait, there's something here that's causing me to stop, you know? And then because I couldn't figure that out, I started picking up on things in people that I didn't like. And then it was easy for me to just kind of sweep that under the rug until something bigger happened that now all of that kind of compounded. And then it was just me just kind of being really angry about things.
Yeah. I think that's just the emotional unbalance that you had to work on, because there are a lot of people that are high functioning who are also emotionally balanced and they're able to do the high end Wall Street accomplished goals, but we still develop the relationship, which I'm also lacking
and
into.
That's the part where I felt like I was wrong because of the way I was doing things and the way, where, you know how you were saying like, yeah, we're going to accomplish that goal. But then, you know, if you have a broken toenail, we talk about that at the end.
Afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that. And that's why I was wrong.
I see.
So then because I cared about my group of people, I'm like, this is fucked up. Like, I feel like I can't really talk to anyone. And it was okay for them to talk to me because I'm like, oh, I'm so special. Cool. Thank you for like talking to me. Of course, I'm going to be completely vulnerable in my own terms, whatever that meant. And I'm going to just be non-judgmental. You're right in everything that you do. And I'm going to be here for you 100+%. But then when it was reversed, like I needed to help or whatever, I just found myself being in my own head and just trying to work it out on my own.
And you felt like you couldn't be vulnerable or like share some of the stuff you're working with?
I think it was that emotional capital or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That I just didn't have with people. Like I didn't feel comfortable, or I felt like, I don't know. I just didn't know how that was going to be received. There just wasn't emotional rapport. No, damn it. I think I'm going to keep going with it. But yeah, it just felt like it. So then when I encountered, like a negative person, then it was at that point where I'm like, fuck. Like, I really don't want to work with this person. I don't want to be in the same room with this person. I don't want anything to do with this person, but I'm forced to fucking be with this person.
Yeah.
And that was so hard because I'm like, fuck, man, normally I just ignore you and I don't have to interact with you and I cut you out of my life and it's beautiful.
Yeah. But
I don't have to work on myself.
Yeah, but in the workplace, you can't do that.
No, I couldn't do that. And it wasn't just the workplace type thing. It was like, they're in our inner circle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fucking shit. How do I deal with this fucking person I don't like?
You know, in the beginning,
Or people.
in the beginning, like, I hated those people too. And in some ways, it still naturally like irks me. But then I also started to realize that I think I used to judge low functioning people, but now I view them as they're just not high functioning yet.
Oh, like they're work in progress.
Yeah, and I think that relieved a ton of stress.
Yeah.
Because
you weren't high functioning either.
yeah, because you can't assume everyone's a black belt. You know,
Yeah.
everyone can't be performing like a black belt. No one.
You're such a fucking meathead, man. You have to revert everything. Like everything has to relate back to some sort of martial arts or lifting for you.
I think that's because it's the epitome of it, and it's the easiest way to break it down in a visual.
I got you.
know what
I
mean?
got you.
Yeah.
But can I pause you here real quick?
Yeah.
So that we can just stop for my next favorite sponsor?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And our second sponsor is ShipStation. So to all of my aspiring entrepreneurs out there, I think this is a very, very big help, because if you're selling things online,
I feel like everyone has something for sale right now.
yeah, and
I love it.
And it's hard to get the orders out, you know, and people are looking for an interface that can bring Amazon, Etsy, your own website, everything together onto one platform. And that's what ShipStation is. It's a simple interface that you can manage everything from your device. And that's extremely helpful, because when we have multiple launches, like the way Barbell Brigade is now, like we have one big launch and then we have a couple small capsules a month. You want to see how things are going in real time so you can make adjustments. If something's sold out, do you need to place an order immediately, or are there customer service issues? In ShipStation, you can manage all of that on your cell phone. And in this day and age, it's so important, because online business is not like a brick and mortar. It is 24/7. And if you don't treat it that way, your competition is going to overrun you, and your customers are going to be really, really pissed, because you have an international audience now. So what's super cool about this is all the BEAW listeners can get ShipStation for free for 60 days with the promo code BEAW. That's BEAW. There's absolutely no risk. You can start your free trial without even entering a credit card information.
That's amazing.
So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to give that out. Well, guess what? They don't even care. You could try it out, BEAW, at ShipStation.com. You can try this out for 60 days for free.
I love the confidence.
Yeah, so
I love it. They're just like, you know what? Our product is the shit. We know you're going to love it. We're so confident. We don't even need credit card information, because you're just going to want to date us immediately.
Yeah, and if you're like Barbell, where you do pretty much 2 launches a month, you can try ShipStation for free for 4 launches.
That's amazing.
Which is a lot. So once again, ShipStation.com/BEAW, BEAW. Use that promo code and try it for 2 months free.
All right. And thanks, ShipStation, for that. And we're back. What were we saying?
So I think you can't expect everyone to be a black belt. Not everyone has put in 10 years of work on doing whatever they're doing, or not even just the skill, but their emotional intelligence, or just a way to critically think or assess problems. So I started to think of things as, oh, okay, this guy's a white belt, this guy's a purple belt, this guy's a whatever. And then I'm not so sad or hurt by it, because now it's no longer a personal attack to me. This guy is just not a black belt at being on time yet. He's a white belt. So of course he's gonna make a ton of mistakes. He's gonna be late a lot. What can I do to help them?
Yeah. But this is because you care about them.
This is because I care about the result.
Because you said you wouldn't invest your time.
I'm not going to go layer 3, but layer 1.
I see.
Like layer 1 might just be like, let's just move our meeting time to something that suits you more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like, but for me, it still slows me down, and it really hurts my feelings when I have to slow myself down, because there's other teammates that are just slower. And so that's why there's so many parts.
But they're not slower. They're just at a different phase in life.
Which means they're slower.
Okay.
So like, because of that, it just makes it sometimes like, I'm like, man, my natural primal reaction is always like, man, fuck that motherfucker. And then I have to go, oh yeah, they're just starting. They've only been doing this for 3 years. Yeah.
And you've been doing it for 12. Yeah. Wow, that's rough. Your head's rough. Just kind of listening to you speak right now, I've actually realized that I've never really had to deal, like I've always dealt with really negative people in my family. Mm-hmm. And I think I was always on the defense. I was always on the defense. So I was always like, okay, fuck, you're attacking me. Fine. This is what I'm going to do to just kind of protect myself. I'm going to shut you out of my life. I'm going to do that. And it was it was comforting for the moment, but I realized that I just wasn't deepening my relationships with my family. And then it was really lazy of me because I'm like, damn, man. Like, for example, I see my two sisters, right? Like, they're so close. And they're both fucking, they're both pretty negative people.
Yeah.
Negative in my book. Like, I don't know how they are now because when they were young, or we were all younger, they were so negative to the point where I'm like, okay, bitches, I'm shutting you guys out and we're just not tight. But a part of me is like, damn, should I have tried to really just try to understand them, pull back those layers, and really be there for them? Because
from the outside, if I were you, I'd be like, fuck no. I'd be like, you guys are low functioning human beings. No wonder why you guys are tight. I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm not fit to bond with you.
Yeah,
it's literally like we're different animals. Like if I'm a shark and you're a lion, you're not coming in the water.
True, but listen to this. A person isn't negative because they want to be negative, right?
I think it is.
No, I don't think so. Because I feel like they're so deep in their shit that they think that that's the only way to live.
That person is deep in their shit.
Right.
Because there's other people that are that deep in their shit and they come out strong, the strongest flower they've ever been.
Yeah, but you don't know what steps were taken or who they were hanging out with or what happened that they were able to get out of that. So some people are stronger than others. You know what I mean?
That's very true. But I also think negativity is a choice.
It is and it isn't. It is and it isn't. It is because you constantly have to work that muscle out, right? Like you constantly have to go back and forth with the yin and the yang, the black and the white, the light and the dark, you know, it's this battle. But for some people, like chemically, they can't do that, right? Like that's what causes clinical depression. And there's all these other things. And maybe your inner circle, you don't even realize that you're amongst a bunch of negative ass people. Like you don't even know that because that's your norm.
Yeah.
So there's so many different things that can keep you in that space. But the reason why I'm saying that I feel bad and I'm like, man, should I have tried, or can I still try, or should I still try? Because I mean, I still can, is because the people that are in a negative space, they probably need the help the most. They might not be receptive to it, but we also have the choice of being like, damn, as a fellow human, as a fellow friend, as a fellow family member, you need more help than anyone else right now. So for me to turn my back on you is probably the most fucked up shit ever. It's kind of where my head has been.
That's awesome. Because my head is not there. My head is...
It's hard.
My head is, I only help those that help themselves.
Yeah.
So if you don't help yourself, or if I don't see effort, I can't pull you out of bed to come running with me to lose weight.
Yeah.
If you at least put your running shoes on and you step outside and you go back in, you're like, fuck, it's too hot. I'll stop you. I'll stop you. You have your running shoes on.
Yeah.
But it's really hard. And especially if you've, if you've seen the spectrum of low functioning to high functioning people, like I'm not even that high functioning, but I'm high enough to know that some people are a lost cause, you know, and they just need to be in another sport and yes, I think negativity is a choice. In my opinion, it's a choice, and some people have way more tools to help them get out of it. Some people have way little tools, like the ones you talk about, generational negativity, their whole circle, family, friends are all negative, the workplace is negative, and that's really hard. But even in those extremely dire circumstances, there are still case studies of people coming out of there.
For sure.
So because of that, I know you can't use one person's example to be like, see, everyone can do it, because that's the wrong way to look at it. But there is still a possibility. So like, I don't like looking at things like a crutch. And when they're family, I think it complicates it even more.
I'm not trying to look at it as a crutch either. It's obviously going to be very situational and very unique to the person. And of course.
Yeah.
But and you're probably just not the right personality type for that. I don't know if I'm the right personality type for that either.
Or you're not even in the right phase to do it too.
Right, absolutely. I might just be so emotionally imbalanced myself that I'm gonna get sucked into it, or I'm gonna get completely fucking pissed and then shut that off, and there's this wall now that's built.
Yeah, because like I think a truly high functioning person can deal with the lowest functioning and bring them up. But I'm also on my journey there. You know? So if I'm not there yet, I feel like if I invest my time with people that are that negative, I don't know if I'm strong enough to deal with that, and I might get pulled down.
What if have you ever had because I know you don't have that big of a family, but like I know someone in your past, well, both our pasts. I don't know if they were negative, but like in the old homie circle.
Yeah.
We'll call him Briss.
Okay. Okay.
He was a pretty negative person.
Yeah.
And you kept him around for, I mean, years. Like, how did you deal with that?
So that was tough. So Briss is an alias for my best friend, and in high school became.
You can probably find the real name somewhere. We've always said it.
Yeah, because we were best friends in high school, and we were both very ambitious, at least verbally. And I connected with him like crazy. I loved his family. He loved mine. And we had sleepovers all the time. And we felt like we're brothers. You know, we ended up getting the same tattoo. That's how tight we were. And eventually, he started like there's a little bit of negativity that was masked in sarcasm. So you just thought it was funny. But over time, it started being repetitive over and over. And the sarcasm started laying off and just more and more negativity. And I'm like, wait, I think I'm starting to get to know the real Briss. And he's quite negative, you know?
Yeah.
But because I have an emotional investment in him, I'm always trying to help him.
And what year in the friendship is this? Is this like the first year, the third year, the
this
fifth year?
This is probably like the second year.
Oh.
So like I tried, but we got close fast. It was one of those like best friends overnight type of thing.
Can I pause you here at this tea so that we can introduce our final and also my favorite sponsor?
Yeah.
Okay, let's throw it over to Noom.
Have you tried to lose weight or get in shape and you've tried everything?
Yep.
And it feels like
Nothing's changing
or nothing is helping you accomplish the goal?
Yep.
Well, one of the biggest reasons is because you're not using a comprehensive approach, which is what I love about Noom, because they take the physical approach, the psychological, and also the social approach into consideration. Because when you are trying to get into shape, or you're trying to lose weight, or you're just trying to fit in those pair of jeans, or you just want to eat healthier, like you like the way you look, you just know that you want to put better stuff in your body. It's not a singular broken down approach like that. You have to take your whole lifestyle into consideration. So that's what I love about Noom, because it's a one big comprehensive app. It has workouts in there, there's calorie trackers, there's meal plans, and it has one of the biggest food databases. So you can plug everything in, and it's almost like managing your entire fitness lifestyle in a app. And when you're able to approach it from that perspective, and you can monitor how you're doing with food, or trying to resist temptation from going out, or just trying to improve yourself in the next best workout, that's what, from what I've seen, is the most conducive way to being successful in your fitness endeavors. So I would give this a try if you tried everything. Noom.com/Beaw, BEAW, regardless of what your goal is, eating healthy, getting more fit, or just trying to resist temptation. Go to Noom.com/Beaw, BEAW, and they firmly believe this is going to be the last weight loss program you need. That's Noom.com/BEAW, and start your trial today.
All right. Thanks, Bart.
You're welcome, Gio.
My Coast 103.5 voice.
Yeah. So, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to try my best to help them. And I was only still 17 or 18, you know?
Oh, damn.
So a lot of...
yeah, what can you do at that age?
Yeah, and there was times where...
you're so underdeveloped.
I think there was one or two times we came to almost fist fights.
Whoa.
Like, that's how bad it got.
That's really bad.
That's how bad it got. And then when we went to boot camp, though, and we lived together, and all... Like, when you go to boot camp or anything that's similar to that, you really have to put your money where your mouth is, because it's straight up 14 weeks of hell. It's fucking hard. You lose all freedoms. Imagine you're in jail and
you're at your weakest point.
Yeah, and then so your true colors come up, you know, and then like how badass he was. He started crying to me at night. There's a guy that was bullying him. He was scared to stand up to it. And then the type of like structured, disciplined person he was, his shit was always he had pens and markers falling out of his pockets. He was like, his fucking, his rifle was slung all over. Like he was just a fucking mess. And I'm like, God damn, what, like he's the guy with like his helmet, like on this side, strap coming out of here, fucking like bullets just falling out. It's just shit was fucked up. And I'm like, and I was a squad leader, right? Like I'm like, the minute I go into boot camp, I'm coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm a squad leader. I'm in charge of like 20 other recruits. He's in someone else's squad, thank God, because I wouldn't be able to chew him out because he's my best friend. And he was just like all fucked up. And even the drill instructor would look at me and like, I can't believe Briss is your best friend because you guys came in together. So when I saw that put a really big dent in our relationship, because I just started to realize we are not of the same functioning class. And then so throughout college, it just, that whole, I think, just widened and widened and widened.
Damn. And you never felt like there was enough history to, you know, pull back. I mean, you're young too, so this is obviously going to be hard for you, but I guess in retrospect, do you think that you could have helped him?
I don't think so. And I think at that time I also overinvested already.
Wow.
So by our senior year in high school, during the summer, like a month right before we're supposed to ship out, we got into a really, really bad accident. And because I scored so highly on my ASVAB, which is the test that you have to take to get into the Marine Corps, I got a $10,000 bonus check. As an 18-year-old is a lot of money. And it's $10,000 over your course of your enlistment. But that's a difference of getting paid like $500 a month to getting paid $800 or $900 a month. So it's like double. And then as you rank up, it's even more, right? And we got into a really bad accident. He was the one that's driving, so it's kind of his fault. But I don't put that on him. We're all stupid, so we're just all racing all the time. We got into both got hospitalized. When we came out, I healed faster. He was still puking and had a ton of trauma. And it was the shipping date. And his mom begged me to change my shipping date. But if you change your shipping date, you forgo your bonus. And because he was my best friend, I'm like, no, I think friends are more important than money. My parents are like, you're so fucking stupid. Tenji's a lot of fucking, especially my dad's a card dealer, you know, at Commerce Casino. He's like, I can't believe you came up on Tenji's out of your own merit of scoring high on the ASVAB and you are just giving that up. And I'm like, but he's my best friend. So to give up that amount of money and to ship out with him and be his buddy and then to excel in boot camp and then see who he really was, it was a huge wake up call for me.
I think that
already.
I think you made the right choice.
So I was already like, wait, like I gave up money for a brother that I thought was at my level and it wasn't. And then if we would have pursued even more, the gap would have been bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of in a similar space, ish, but not really. But like, I don't know. I feel like there's something wrong with that thinking though. Like I think we're approaching it from different angles. And because for me, it's easier for me to find, I don't know, maybe I just value a relationship more than high functioning, that I'm down to.
Completely different schools with that. So mine is more like meritorious based. It's the relationship is based on its merits, which is colder. I think you're basing it off more of a humanitarian perspective. So I think it is way different.
Yeah.
Where you're much more inclined to help the fellow man. And I think
because I think back to like, you know, when Taika's, you know, like if something happens to us, what merits, you know what I mean? Like who's going to be down to step in and be like, I'll take care of your child.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I feel like if it's more merit based, I feel like people might be like, I'm too busy to do that. Like if we were to die today, you know, we don't have our parents. Now we have to depend on friends or people that like we're close to in our life. Like who would you trust to be like, here you go. Please, can you take care of my child?
It's all my merit-based homies. So like, I don't actually live completely merit-based, but if I did, then like, let's say just taking it back to like military or whatever, like let's say if I was a SEAL, then all my friends would only be SEALs and it would just go to another SEAL family.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, but I would want him to have a lot of nice hugs and like a lot of affection and support and love and like really warmth, like a lot of warmth.
Yeah. And I think that comes way more from the humanitarian side. It's way cozier and a lot more like cuddling and empathy, I think. And it's less about, I only help others that help themselves. I literally just help everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard being that way because I'm in this space right now where I'm kind of torn between the two because I like the merit stuff.
Yeah.
Because we speak the same language, you know, like I understand you, you understand me. Like there's very minimal explanation that has to go down. Like we get each other.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I'm also like, I like a lot of hugs.
Me
and
and Joe actually had this
fuzzy
conversation yesterday. And he was like, because I was talking about, I just read like, this is not a shirt or it's not a t-shirt by Bobby Hundreds. Mm-hmm. And it was talking about how he, I think, made like 17 million the first 6 years in already. And so even in the YouTube space, you see, I mean, we're doing well for ourselves, of course, with JK, but you see a lot of people that are in the 8 figures in under 10 years. So Joe was asking me, hey, what do you think we're doing wrong? Like, how come we don't have 8 figures in under 10 years? We have a really good, stable, like middle class YouTube success, but we're not on the upper echelon. And we've been double the time as like people like Logan Paul or whatever, right? And then I told him, I actually think it's because we care about people too much. So even though of my heart of hearts, I would love to be merit-based, the way I actually am, I'm not. I'm actually more humanitarian because in like a Gary Vee type business environment where you hire slow, fire fast, you have an objective and you don't let any human being prevent you from getting to the objective. So if the goal is 1 million subscribers in a year, if people aren't helping you fulfill, you weed them out. The turnover is extremely high. But in JK and also Barbell, what we've done is our goals are actually limited by the people. We love and care about our people so much that there are people that are horrible for certain positions and we still try to nurture them. And like, we don't really play the game of YouTube. We don't really play the game of fitness space. Like I know to play the game of fitness space in Barbell, I just got to be shredded all the time, look good, look like a bodybuilder. And then it would just grow, make content that is extremely motivational, inspirational, getting out of like expensive cars and stuff like that. But we actually care about people so much. We care about relating to people, and that's what really holds us back. So I think that's the part of me that gravitates towards the military so much because I think there's a side of me that even though I do care about people, I do miss operating in a much more merit-based system. And I think when Steve came in, it really helped revitalize a lot of the writing in JK just because he's a high-functioning writer. So when we're in our room, like we churn out ideas. So we wrote 3 feature films last year, you know, and it's just spinning so fast versus with some of the staff we're developing. It's like they could actually be holding us back from bigger JK goals. But at that point, because we're more humanitarian based, we care about developing this person more than JK getting to the next level.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, they're more the same. You just admire one versus the other, but I mean, we're both doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I think you're more that than me.
Yeah.
Because like there's some people.
I think I just grew up with not enough hugs, man. I just want hugs.
Because there are some people that I like, it's so easy for me to turn my back on because I just feel like I'm over invested. And with you, with your sisters, I see how much you invest and how much it kind of backfires and how you're still willing to keep pushing for it. I'm like, man, you're a better person than I am.
I mean, because I don't know I just think like family is dope and like having your tribe is dope, you know? And if you're just...
Even if they're stupid as fuck?
Yeah, but I mean, they might be stupid as fuck in your area of like being punctual or turning assignments on time, but they might be geniuses at making people feel really fucking good, you know?
I'm talking about fucking idiots at problem solving.
Maybe we just don't give them our problems. You know what I mean? But they might just be good comedy, or they might be just good vibes, or they might be, you know what I mean?
But if you get, so you're willing to let someone else raise your kid if they suck at problem solving?
No.
But they got great vibes?
No, but I feel like you just got to give everyone a chance. You know, like everyone is inherently good, unless they're like mentally.
I believe in chances, but not more than 3.
Wrong. I don't know. There's just certain people where I see a spark in them, and I'm like, you're not a waste of time. And I see that in a lot of people.
And are you willing to invest that time and let them hold you back? Because I don't have the emotional stability to do that. That's the part that's really tough for me.
I think this is kind of why I'm torn, is because I don't have the time, and I don't invest the time. But if I could, I would. But because that's just not my priority at this moment, I'm not doing that. But if I had the time and I was just in a different place in my life, let's say I just had all the money in the world, and now I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not pressured to worry about building anything else.
Yeah.
And like, I know I have like my time with Taika. I know I have my time with you. I probably would invest time, because now they're not holding me back from anything. Like, what are they really, like, if anything, they're teaching me a lot. I'm learning patience. I'm learning how to understand different people. I'm learning like different schools of thought. I'm learning how, like I'm constantly learning, you know? So I don't, for you, it's a waste of time, but for me, I'm just sharpening different tools. Yeah. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because I feel like in a business setting or whatever, I'm not like the best. I'm not stellar, but I know I'm not the weakest link. So because I know that, and I know I can hold my own in that world, I like where I feel like I'm weak is in this other area. And like, because I like feeling balanced, I think that's why I kind of seek that a little bit more. And I feel very accomplished when like someone like Jess, for example, when we had our, turbulent relationship, when we couldn't stand each other, because I'm like, man, this bitch is complaining all the fucking time. She's so fucking self-centered. It's all about me, right? And then the more I got to know her, the more I'm like, oh shit, it's not that she's self-centered. It's not that. It's she's probably she has anxiety, or she's suffering from depression, or she's had a really fucked up past. And it's like, oh man, like that's so cool. I can see past all the surface shit that used to annoy me when I was like a fucking chimp, like I'm just at a primal level. And now I can see past it. I'm like, wow, she's a very complex person, and she has so much love, and she cares so deeply that like it was a huge accomplishment for me. So
for me, with my meritorious hat on, I would have done the same, because obviously she's a high functioning person. She kills it at JK News channel management. She watches every single video, extremely meticulous. She helped me with the apology video when I fucked up, and really helped dig me out of a grave, right?
Yeah, she got your back sick.
She is crisis control for JK. Really good. But because she's there, that for me is worth the emotional investment, because I feel like I'm investing into a peer. But imagine all those problems you just named, and then they're late all the time. Don't even show up to work. Miss edits. Call them, they ghost you for a week. Gives you a bullshit excuse. Has lied twice. Then it's like, why am I investing in pursuing this when they already have a whole slew of other problems I got to work on?
You know what I see?
What?
When something like that happens, I give it a pause, because I'm like, fuck, okay, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not talking to them the way they need to talk. And then I check myself. So that's what with my sister, you see me going back. I go back to her. I go back to her.
But what about the stuff that you see that they're failing on that have nothing to do with their involvement? They're just dying in life.
Yeah. So
they're like past due on car payments,
which
have
agree.
Nothing to do with you.
Right. So I agree with, you can only lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. Right. So when I talk to them specifically, mainly my big sister, my older sister, I don't really talk to my little sister that much, just because, I don't know. She's just weird.
Okay.
But mainly with my big sister, right? Like, let's say something's bad in her life, then I approach it the way I know how. And then I'll see that I'm getting some negative feedback, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. She's a sensitive person. We've grown apart these few years. She doesn't know who I am anymore. Maybe I've changed. I thought I stayed the same, and I'm not, and I could have offended her. So I go back home and I reevaluate that, and I'm like, fuck, where did I fuck up? Okay, cool. So then I'll approach it again, and I'm not approaching it again. It could be months, and I'm trying to connect with her in different ways, right? So let's say that now, and I'm not saying this is what's going on in her life, but as an example, let's say she's struggling with money, right? Then I'm going to go in like kind of tiptoeing because I'm still trying to figure myself with her, then I'm going to be like, hey, let me know if there's anything I can do here. I can help you go through your finances and we can do this shit together. And then if I see that she's ashamed or she's offended, then I'm like, oh shit, okay. I know her level of sensitivity there. Okay, so then I'll back that off. Okay, well, what other ways can I do to still, like, let's say we're sticking with the money thing, that I can still help her with money. Oh, does she have kids? Okay, well then maybe I can ease that burden. So there's just like different ways where I'm learning about myself to deal with someone like that.
That's a pretty awesome way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because for sure, I think when anybody deals with any challenge, regardless if they think it's worth it, I think you do learn a lot from it and you come out as a better person.
Yeah. And I think I'm so down to invest this time because I've encountered so many people in my life that just I didn't gel with, I didn't vibe with. And like off the bat that I'm like, okay, you're not my person yet, at least. Like you're not my person. So I don't need to move it past this. Like you stay in your lane, I stay in my lane, cool. But once I'm like, oh shit, I think you can be my person, then I'm like, okay, cool. Like I want to do what I can for you.
How do you know your family can be your person?
Because they're my family. They have to be my person. If they haven't hurt me physically or like they're not trying to murder me or they haven't like violated me in any sort of way, they're my person. Like this is for whatever the universe wanted. They wanted these people in my life. So I'm like, okay, this is maybe a test.
I think for me, if they've hurt me emotionally, it's worse than hurting me physically.
Because you value that a lot.
Yeah. Because physically, I think, it heals. Like you can't remember the pain you felt like yesterday.
I think because the intent in which they hurt you physically might not have been a malicious intent.
Yeah, that's that too.
Yeah, right.
But emotionally,
so if they were doing it maliciously, you would mind.
Even if they're just mad at me, it's just a physical expression of their being pissed, and they're allowed to be pissed.
But it's all the intent, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So you would mind if the intent was bad for them to hurt you physically, you would probably mind and you'd probably cut them out.
No, I wouldn't. If they're mad and their intention was to hurt me physically, cause a bruise, that's fine. But they're not trying to.
Really? What if they're like fucking psychopathic and they're fucking torturing you? That's still okay?
I think that's okay as long as they're not lying to me and betraying me. Like if they are not on my team, that's when it hurts the most.
What if it was like in a sexual abuse then?
They're not on my team if they're sexual abuse. But I'm talking about like, let's say, a lot of siblings, they get into like fist fights because they're so pissed at each other, but no one's trying to pull a fast one or not be loyal to each other. They're having a loyal fight.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, intent though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's all intent for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same for me. Absolutely same for me. Yeah, but I think so kind of going back to the beginning of it. So because I'm constantly trying to do that with the people that I care about, when they're so negative to the point that they're misunderstanding my intent, that I'm just like, then at that point I'm like, I don't know what to do. So let's say I'm reaching out to my sister, and this has happened, where she's in such a space of negativity in her mind or stress, or she's dealing with her own shit, that if I come in going, like, oh shit, I just got a raise, she'll take it as, and I'm not saying this happened, but just to paint an extreme picture.
Like you're rubbing it in her face or something.
Yeah, because she's in such a negative space that she's going like, damn, why is this bitch rubbing it in my face? Like she sees I'm struggling, like why would she do that to me? But for me, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm just excited to share this stuff.
Yeah, you're just sharing a celebration.
But how do I deal with that? Is it my bad? Like, should I have been like more, keen to the situation and going like, oh fuck, she's struggling. Maybe this is not the right time. Because I know there's a time and place for everything.
I don't even think it's struggling. I think it's just knowing the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
So if she's that way, she's probably that way regardless if she's struggling or not. She's just a face rubbing type of person. And if that's the case, then I would limit the way I share things with them. Because that's how I felt with Briss. With Briss, he has a 3-car garage. Parents make good money, own his own contracting business. And no matter what I shared, it came back in a sarcastic way. Even if he had more than me. I remember my mom was so proud of me. When I graduated boot camp, she bought me my first brand new car. And it was a Toyota Tacoma, and that's like my dream car at the time.
Damn, you're so spoiled.
and then he was like, "Ooh, a Tacoma! You got a Tacoma! Ooh!" And I'm just like, "Dude, like you have a Beamer." Like what? Like what's up? It's so, you know, it just felt so weird. So if he's that way and he's well fulfilled, if he was down in the dumps, for sure it'd be even worse. So I think because I knew that that's who he was, I just started to share less, and I think that probably furthered the gap. I started sharing with my buddy Mike if something happened. Oh, cool! I got this scholarship. Or my buddy Ryan. Oh, cool! Like this happened. You know, I'm getting promoted in the Marine Corps, because it was like everything. He was just that kind of person.
Did you ever talk to him like one-on-one? Like, hey man, why did you ever do that? Because one thing I've noticed is the whole uncandid candor that I never did before. I just assumed that that's just how people were, and I'm like, okay, I can't change that, and I kind of just kept my thing, and I just made peace with it, and I'm like, okay, now I know. So kind of like your example with Briss, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start sharing this. But then when I noticed, and this specifically happened working at Barbell and working with people and having staff underneath me, that when I was like, I would sit there and I'm like, I think it's because I had the whole emotional bank surplus, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
Damn it, what is that called?
Emotional welfare? I don't know.
Emotional capital. I don't know. Anyway, well, because I had an emotional capital with that person, I feel like that's the right thing. I'm going to text him after this. I felt like, okay, man, I need to speak my piece. So let's say you were Chris, I'm Bart. Then I'd be like, hey man, like one-on-one in a room. You know what? Like, I love you as a friend. We have the same tattoos together, whatever. I respect you. I love you. I've just been feeling that every time I share some positive news, for example, when I got my Tacoma, that you started giving me sarcastic remarks. Like that hurts my feelings, man. Like, why do you do that? And then at that point, I feel like it opens it, at least in my personal, it opened things up where they were like, oh shit, I didn't even read it like that.
I don't think I was mature enough to take that step back and then also dive in deeper and have that mature conversation.
Yeah.
So I think it was probably easier to just have a defense mechanism and go, I'm not sharing that.
And it's not uncandid candor, it's uncandy candor. Sorry.
There was a time though where like, because I think I do read people a lot, and I think there was a time where I unintentionally did that and it backfired like crazy. So I have asthma, right? And then we're just playing in our friend's pool. We're just swimming around. And then I was just, I'm like, me, I always have to turn like something that's casual into something serious. So I'm just like, I'm trying to hold my breath for as long as I can. And I'm trying to like pick up these little like plastic trays, because our other friend was a lifeguard, and I'm just going to do these drills. And then finally, when I came up to the top to have to resurface, he threw one right when my face was coming out of the water.
Ow.
And it landed on my face. And immediately when I needed a breath, that's what I got.
You got suffocated.
So I almost felt like I was suffocating. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? I'm like, dude, I have asthma. And he just laughed at me. He's like, oh, you have asthma. You don't have asthma. And he was just like, and then I'm like, what the fuck? That was like a slice of vulnerability from me. Yeah. Being uncandid candor or candid candor, whatever it is. And I'm like, I don't know if I can have this type of sensitive conversation like this with him. There's just a lot of gaps that just kind of built. Yeah.
And it's also hard to bring that up because you were just so young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't like anything anyone does, maybe even up until they're like in their mid 20s. I'm like, bro, you're still developing. Like, I'm not even going to hold shit against you.
From you now.
From me now.
But when you're mid 20s, everyone's a peer.
Fuck no, it's fucking serious as shit.
Yeah, everyone thinks everything's a personal attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, closing thoughts. Our closing question.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like in a situation where I'm just like, I'm not in a situation. I'm kind of out of the situation. But when it comes, and this is, I'm going to ask you personally, when it comes to dealing with someone that you really care about, that tends to be more on the negative side, how do you, what are your thoughts on that? Are you like, I'm going to fucking fight hard, fight through it, and we're going to make it? Or you're just like, I'm going to see where it goes? Or I'm going to change myself and just adjust to them?
I think it's all of them.
Oh, shit.
I think it's all of them. I think one, knowing the scale of it, where they are, where you are, and constantly remind yourself how you're going to approach it. So if they are a white belt and you are a black belt, it's your responsibility,
Right.
if they're your friend and you care about them, to now develop that part of it.
Yeah.
But if you guys aren't, and like, let's say you guys are pretty close, you're just one step above them. I think it's also, and it's like, you don't have them, you're not high functioning in that department. I think it's, so it's like hard for like a purple belt to really train like a blue belt or something. I think you need to have the conversation and talk about the things a little bit more and more like peer to peer, and go like, this made me uncomfortable. Why it makes you uncomfortable? I wish things could kind of be like this. Could things be like this a little bit more? And really try hard, and hopefully it works. But if not, and you really care about them, I also believe in just biting the bullet too.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot
That's
of
great
things.
advice.
There's a lot of things that me and Joe didn't see eye to eye on.
Yeah.
That it's like 8 years later, in my mind, I'm like, I fucking told you so. But I would never say that because it's not constructive.
Yeah.
But it was a big fight that we had when we were like 23, you know, and then when we're 30, it turned out the way that what I thought. But I would never say I told you so, because it's just not a constructive thing if I really care about it.
Yeah. It's kind of petty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some great advice.
So sometimes
Bubba.
you do have to bite the bullet. You know, if you care about them, then it's worth biting the bullet no matter what.
Yeah. That's very CUNY.
Yeah.
I like talking with you and stuff like this.
Me too.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Cool. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening. And also thank you to our sponsors, Third Love. Again, that's thirdlove.com/BEAW bail for 15% off your first purchase. And also thank you to ShipStation. That's going to be, just go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type bail, BEAW, and you're going to get your free 60 days when you use promo code BEAW, BEAW. Last but definitely not least, and of course one of my favorites is noom.com/bear. Go there to start your free trial. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we're constantly looking for your feedback. Give us a star. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.